Good old upstate.
Which this is not here.
Nope.
Am I on? Am I on? Am I on? We're good. That's a rich thing. That was last week.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Not bad. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
We got talking about our... No, last week? No, it was the week before.
Week before. Yep.
The week before.
Because last week was...
We got talking about our Super Bowl predictions. Vince McMahon, the whole debacle with him, trafficking women.
Pooping on girls' chests.
Heads.
Heads, sorry.
It was heads.
Heads, yeah.
Did you read the text messages?
Yeah.
You read all Vince's text messages?
No. I thought you meant the ones you sent me.
No.
What the hell's the ones? Vince text messages?
Vince McMahon. You know the thing with his, like, shitting on what's her face's head? And there's a whole bunch of text messages that came out. This is where the whole thing originated from. That's why everyone's like, he's guilty. It's not just like... I mean, it's still innocent until proven guilty, but come on.
It's still consent.
I don't think she's consent. I mean...
Well, maybe she shouldn't have dressed us like a slut.
I guess by technically victim blamer.
I'm a big victim blamer.
Well, what'd she do?
I can't.
We were
hold on. Go ahead. I'll tell you. Don't let me forget Chris Hansen.
Okay, I was just gonna say, like, basically what we were covering was like the whole text messages and everything, and the things that are in those messages. Even on this show, I was like, and this is another one where Rich was the voice of reason. I'm like, I don't know if I should read these. Rich is like, don't read them.
Do you have them? I'd love to see them.
I don't know if I still have them. I mean, you could do a quick Google search and find them. They are interesting though. I don't think. Oh, I do have them.
All right, let me see.
All right. Let me remember how to work modern technology.
Well, consider this my farewell podcast, because I'm going to say some shit.
No, don't read some. Just
I'll PG them. I'll PG them.
I was going to say browse.
I got this.
Browse through them. And then
I got this.
This is, I don't know in what order these are in, but this is some of the text messages.
I got this.
Well, there you go.
Oh, did you text them to me?
Yes, I did.
Great.
Anyway, so yeah, we got talking about the Vince McMahon thing, and then of course Super Bowl, and then Elden Ring, the DLC for Elden Ring that's rumored to be coming out, and he's reading right now the debacle, which I
got you.
You're like, you.
Okay, I love it. That's you, person. You just can't get enough, can you? In the future, it's going to be so bad that you'll demand to be blanked twice a day. And not just with blank in a blank way. Why not let others see the beautiful, voluptuous body and watch you shake controllably when you blank? See, I totally got this PG. I got you, bro.
Okay.
They'll go out of their minds. Then I'll find more friends. I'm just going to read these and not preview them. I want to see if I can blank these perfectly.
Okay.
We'll tie you up so you're helpless. I'll direct them to have their way any way they want. Who can make you scream the loudest? Maybe I'll just line them up and have them blank in your mouth. You're blank all over. You're blank and blank all at the same time. You'll be covered in blank.
Half the
and
words
we'll
are
make you
missing.
blanket. All
not blanket as in
and
covered.
Taste everybody's blank. The next morning you'll be a little sore, but you're still going to want more. Okay? Maybe he wants 2 other guys to join you with him. Holy blank, you told him you would do anything with him, so if he surprised you with 2 others, you would have no alternative than to take them on. Oh my God, the stories you could tell me then. It makes me want to blank right now. By the way, I just thought of what I think is an excellent idea. Maybe you could hint that if he knows someone who can be discreet, it might be better if you and blank try him out first so he can get more comfortable before he is introduced to me. And actually that makes total sense, doesn't it? Exactly, baby. He's not the only one. Blank called me this afternoon begging to blank you and blank you with his blank and blank blank. Give me another week, baby, and I'll be ready. I'm feeling more like myself. It's not great, but it's getting better. Tell him soon. I already told him, baby. By the way, blank wants blanks, but not this coming one and the occasional blank. But maybe I can shift it to blank nights. Blank would like all of the above. I'm not good. Okay, I'm not good with abbreviations. So REUR. Is it like your last picture? Resend maybe? Resend your last picture? You need your blank ripped off and 3 big black blanks. And all 3 blanks at the same time. This is great.
It is? That's the first time I've ever heard that said after reading this shit.
Hey! Nothing's bad so far.
Buddy, I've missed you on the show.
Okay. Let's start over.
No, we don't need to start over. Oh, okay.
Resend your last picture. You need your blanks ripped off and 3 big black blanks and all 3 blanks at the same time. Weigh up your blank and weigh up your blank as far as they will go, even further. And the thickest blank will go down your blank, so it makes you blank and blank as those big black blanks pound away. It feels like from the start you're being blanked, but it's made you blank nonstop. Just one continuous constant blank, and just before you pass out, those big black blanks blank their blanks of blank inside blank. As blank lay on your stomach, the blank is coming out of all of your blanks. I'll turn you over and blank off all over blank. We gotta do an episode where we just read random texts from anybody, anything. Is it pornographic or is it scientific?
What's screwy is minus a few blanks here and there. You know what they're saying.
But we're not saying it.
It's true, YouTube.
That's fucking right, YouTube.
It's true. This is all up to this is up to the imagination of the listener / watcher, viewer.
I wonder if we could
all the words are in your mind.
That's right.
Where is your mind?
I am not forcing any blank into your blank, okay?
Not even 3 big black blanks. Ideas.
All right. I'll read the rest of these later.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that's what we were covering.
And then speaking of...
we were talking... Oh, go ahead.
No. You finish. I don't want to pick Chris Hansen.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead with Chris Hansen. Because I was just going to move on to the next thing, and I almost forgot.
So a buddy of mine and I were talking today, and we got joking back and forth. You know, and he was talking about this one girl at his company. Now, he works for the trucking industry. And in order to be a truck driver, you have to be in New York State and minimum 21 years old. Right. So this female driver is old enough. He's like, dude, every time I talk to her, and she acts so friendly, he's like, I'm waiting. Like, I've actually made the joke, where's Chris Hansen? He's like, this chick looks like she's maybe 13, tops. And I'm like, she's a truck driver? He goes, yeah. I go, wouldn't that be something? He goes, what's that? Like Chris Hansen just appearing. He goes, why?
In your cab as you're driving. Like, what the?
No. Play this out. How much would you pay to see this episode? So, thanks for coming over. Yeah, I just wanted to hang out and have a good time. Have a seat over there. I'm just going to go get ready. Oh, okay. Out walks Chris Hansen. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen from Knitline. Oh, I know who you are. Zzz. What are you doing? I'm not here for her. But you were talking to this third. I know what was going on.
All a ploy.
Get over here. No. We got pretty dark. The guy's like, why did you guys keep recording? He had a gun to your head, Chris. There are police here. Well, you're also kind of a dick. He raped me. Well, maybe you shouldn't have just like a slut.
You were asking for it.
That's the victim blame, and that's what made me think of it. I was like, oh, that's right. We did rape Chris Hansen in our joke earlier. Maybe he shouldn't have been a slut.
Yeah, so...
How awesome would that episode be? Chris Hansen gets sexually assaulted while trying to catch a predator. He caught the wrong type.
That's like something you'd see on Family Guy or something. One of those like those little section deviated segments.
I know. What's up, buddy?
Of whatever.
Yeah. That was a good episode too, by the way, Putin. And I've watched that whole show.
Super Bowl.
Oh God.
And then we were the thoughts before I go.
Everybody, my first initial thought of the game, wow, this was a drag fest. The whole game. Just back and forth. Just inching it up the field, inching it back, inching it up, back, points. And then the game.
That's football.
No, there's a difference between an action-packed game and a game of chess.
It wasn't a shootout. And I didn't think it was going to be a shootout. The way it played out, I kind of figured it was going to be that. I didn't think it was going to be like a final score 10-7, but I didn't think it was going to be like a final score 35-42. And
yeah, no,
I didn't think it was going to be that. It was the defenses were too good on both sides.
I will give you that.
Even though we got 400 injuries during the game.
I know, right? The one dude was he's such one on the field. Oh,
yeah,
hamstring.
and he blew out his Achilles.
Yeah,
Achilles injury. As soon as I said it was an Achilles injury, I'm like, that hurts. I
felt bad for him. But the only thing, I can't say it was a bad game. It wasn't the most enjoyable Super Bowl I've ever watched.
Well, no, because the Niners lost.
Well, no, win or lose. There's been some pretty intense fucking Super Bowls.
If the Niners had won 3-0, I would have been happy. I was like, good game.
The only thing that pisses me off, this is where, like, you know, they say the NFL is scripted, blah, 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 rigged, whatever. The only thing that irritates me about this, regardless of whether it's rigged or not, the only thing I can genuinely say that bugged me about that game was the PAT. Moody low booted it.
Oh, yeah.
For the field goal.
And kicked it into the hands of...
Yeah. That, if they had let that go, I don't care if Kansas City would have won at that point. Because here's what I would have seen. At the end of the game, like 9 seconds left, they're right there on the line. 9 seconds, 20-16. There's no field goal attempt. It's touchdown or nothing. Mm-hmm. That would have been a nail-biting, hell of a way to end a Super Bowl. Go ahead. Let the Kansas City Chiefs win because that's what's scripted or whatever the case may be, rigged or not. I don't care. Let them score the touchdown. That would have been you know what? I'm not happy the Niners lost, but the Chiefs put it all on the line. Good enough for me. Good game.
The Chiefs have 0 holding calls in 13 quarters. Figure that out. 13 quarters of Super Bowl play.
Yeah, and no one's talked about that Kansas City shooting either since fucking Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are fucking pegging each other.
Yeah, see,
with Mahomes fucking laugh. Did you hear that shit?
No.
After the game when he's doing the interview, they said something. It was, yeah, well, it was a good game. What the fuck? What are you, a goat?
What's he doing? Please get him off the field. No, I did find something interesting though. Did you see? I think I sent it to me. Maybe I did. During they were showing Taylor Swift, which at this point I just don't give a shit about Taylor Swift. Whatever. They were showing Taylor Swift, but then her friend, just to the left,
Ice Spice,
was wearing the inverted cross, and I was like,
she was doing like the demonic symbols, hand gestures.
Shortly thereafter, what's his face blew his Achilles out. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my god, they sold their soul to win this game.
Voodoo's real.
Someone had projected numbers of Mahomes if he stays on the path that he's on compared to Tom Brady. In the same span, if he plays at the level he's playing, he's going to have 11 rings to Tom Brady's 7. His touchdown, like playoff or Super Bowl touchdowns would be, what were they? They were like, what did Brady have? I can't remember. His Brady's career yards was like 89,000. Mahomes is going to end up having 111,000. Like, basically, it's going to demolish Tom Brady's records, which Tom Brady's records are already what I thought was untouchable for at least the next 50 years. Because those, like Tom Brady having 7 rings himself, he has more rings than franchises have rings. Yeah. All the other franchises.
Yeah, you ain't
so I was like, there's no way, no one's going to touch that for who knows how long. And then here comes Mahomes.
Well, you know, if you look at it in a true sport point of view, it's just the next generation coming up in the ranks. That's how it goes. If you look at it in a rigged sense, well, you can't have how put it to you this way. God's honest point of view, the spirit, the game isn't rigged, the spirit of the game is still there. Good on him. I'm not surprised. Human evolution. It's just another testament that as the years go on and the people progress and the younger generation comes up, they get faster, stronger, smarter, better than the previous generation.
But they sound more like Muppets.
Hold on.
I mean, I suppose you got to put all your stats in something. You sound like a man or you throw like a man.
So, on a rig standpoint, come on, dude. How much revenue back on the Brady day? How much revenue was the NFL raking in because of Brady? Lots of money.
Maybe, but I don't even think like now. If that's the case,
they need a new name to promote to keep the game going.
Plus, with Taylor Swift, the younger audience, like now that they're riding this like 2-horse fucking mule team of Kelsey.
Oh, you saw that video of Taylor Swift, the 2 mule horse thing? You know, both Kelsey brothers. Yeah, Taylor Swift calling you out. Oh, sorry, President Biden. Oh, he's going to attack me next, just like the guy who created her AI
He's got
news.
a TikTok account now.
Biden does?
Biden does. I don't know who runs it, but I mean,
definitely not him. What's the videos of him sleeping?
No, they were talking about we'll get down that.
I'd love to hear the first TikTok video. You know, I may not be fit to stand trial for my misdoings, but I'm still fit enough to run this country.
Now he was talking about chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah,
he's talking about his favorite chocolate chip cookies.
Fucking moron.
I guess the Super Bowl too was a lot of people were saying it was boring, and it was like nobody watched it, and a bunch of people were like, oh, I tuned out. You want to know what the numbers of it were? Had over 120 million people watch it. The highest rated show since the moon landing.
Well, hold on.
It must have been everybody that watched it or everybody that didn't watch it all talked in the same forum, and I just happened to come across it. To be like, oh, you're all together.
Well, you said it yourself. How many people tuned out? They probably put it on the TV and then went about their day.
That's what I did. I turned it on, and I was farming on Elden Ring.
Oh, no, I watched the whole game.
So did I, but I was farming Elden Ring. It was on my phone.
No. Like, I wasn't... Okay. No, I was...
Well, I didn't want to. That's too much effort.
It's nice to see the Niners in the Super Bowl, win or lose.
Yeah,
it was nice seeing them in there. That's my team, man.
But I had a gut feeling all week. I'm like, this isn't going to go. It's not going to go. And then here's the thing, too. It was like 9.5 minutes left of the fourth quarter. And Niners got the ball back. And I knew exactly how it was going to play out as soon as I got the ball back. I was like, there's plenty of time for them to weasel their way downfield and get whatever points they're going to get. And Mahomes is still going to have like 3 minutes left. Mm-hmm. And what happened? They weaseled their way downfield, settled for a field goal, and then Mahomes got the ball with 1:53 left. So I was off by a minute. And then he drove it down, stalled out, kicked the field goal, went to overtime. And then the 49ers didn't know the new overtime rules.
Which is bullshit.
They didn't know the new overtime rules because...
I didn't know about it.
And they changed them in 2021?
So bullshit.
Or 22?
Oh, it's not fair. No, the whole point of that coin flip is so that the defending team, they better hit them hard.
Yeah, like when they explained the rules after the fact that Niners chose to get the ball first because it's no longer sudden death.
Nope.
When they got the ball, Niners received, and then they started explaining the rules of the new overtime, and everyone said it. And if you're listening to the rules, I'm like, why would you take the ball first? Like in sudden death, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You have the chance to get down there, kick a field goal, and
win.
Game's over.
That's the way it should have been.
But now, if you go into overtime, you want the ball second because now you have 4 downs every single series, not 3 and a punt. Because if they drive and stall and punt, now you have all the downs to get a field goal. If it's intercepted or whatever, it's essentially game over. You just got to get in the field goal range. If they score a field goal, you know exactly what you have to do, and there is no punting it. So you just go. If they score a touchdown, same thing. Like, you want the ball second because you get that extra down every series. But they didn't know that. So they shot themselves in the foot right off the bat.
I didn't even know that happened.
And neither did I. I think most of the country didn't. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. What I can say through this whole thing is Brock Purdy did his job.
Yeah, he did.
And he did his job. He led them on 3 scoring drives in the fourth quarter and in overtime. He did his job. He did everything he had to do to put his team ahead. And just the team, as a team, didn't pull through.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? But I was happy with that because that was the one thing I was worried about. It's like, is he going to choke? What's going to happen? Purdy
No, he came to play.
He did his job.
He did. I like Purdy.
Yeah.
It's nice. We've had a lot of our quarterbacks over the years. There was a few quarterbacks that got some bad reps, but it wasn't so much the quarterback themselves.
You see Jimmy Garoppolo now?
Yeah.
Now he's going to be released.
Yeah.
Injury, went 3-3, terrible numbers, and then he just got busted for PEDs.
Yeah.
And now they're just going to serve him a suspension, 2-game suspension. But I guess Las Vegas is just going to release him now. But that was one where I thought, like, man, he's going to be a franchise quarterback wherever he ends up because he took the Niners to the Super Bowl in 2019 or 2020.
2020, yep.
But
when they lost to the Ravens.
No, that was 2013. 12?
2020. Who did they play in the 2020?
Kansas City. That was one where they were up 24-10, and they blew it and lost like 24-31 in the fourth quarter, like 10 minutes left. I remember verbatim. I was sitting in the living room watching the game, and I don't know if they scored a touchdown or they stopped a drive or whatever it was. I just remember all the teammates going down to the end zone, the opposite end zone, and posing in this like 10 or 11 player like pose for a photo. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the time. It's like there's like over 10 minutes left. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like there's plenty of time left here. And then fast forward 10 game minutes, and we lost in the Super Bowl. I'm like, and that's when I was like, they deserve to lose that game. It's like you had the game for 3+ quarters and then forgot that there was still 10 minutes left to play. It's like, what, the game's over?
What, you forget the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
There's 4? Yeah, sure.
4 quarters? God, who made that?
I've already been in this game for like 18 hours. We just did the pregame halftime show. Wait, what?
Yeah, so, but then, so it was a rematch of that, and I was like, wow, I like the squad we got, and I like Brock Purdy. There's a good chance we could win this. But then, like I said, it was just a gut feeling. And then I don't know why, script, referee bias, or just the game.
There was all...
there's a lot of people are going to say this too. And I'm like, this isn't me making excuses one way or another why they lost, but just being completely objective. There were, and this, I only bring this up because of that stat that was brought up. The Chiefs have 0 holding calls, and then there's a plethora, a compilation of holding calls during the Super Bowl. I don't fucking see how you miss these calls either. Some of them, like arms around him, being spun around with him, like.
Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing. The horse collar. What was it called?
Oh,
the horseshoe.
The horse collar tackle. Yeah,
the horse collar tackle.
And he buckled his knees, and
that wasn't a hold call. It was a horse collar. Yeah. They called it
automatic first down though.
Yeah, but it wasn't. He didn't give that. It wasn't a holding call.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, because holding is
even Jay agrees with me. So if you call Charlie.
Yeah, but so as soon as that stat was brought up, there's been no holding calls, and then I'm like, well, no, there wasn't any calls, but there sure has been holding.
Yeah.
But again, that's neither here nor there because they lost.
Grab his dick and twist it.
He's holding.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 97 on the 49ers. What? It's my dick. You're certain of just like a slut. God damn it.
I mean, what? Get out of here, victim blamer. If you didn't put yourself there, you wouldn't have been held. So, so the Niners lost.
That sucked.
And then, I guess added on to that, of course, you have the Kyle Shanahan stat now. You know, he had a 28-3 lead against Patriots in 2017 being the offensive coordinator for the Falcons.
Yeah.
And they blew it. Now, that necessarily doesn't have anything to do with him. That's defensive coordinator, and that's just that play calling. But they had a big lead, blew it. 2020 has a big lead, 24-10, blows it. As a head coach in Niners. 2024, they have a 10-point lead. In the first half, blows it. But, this is also brought up, same thing happened with Andy Reid. He'd been to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl multiple times in the 2000s, early and mid-2000s, and lost all of them. And then finally in 2019, won the championship. Or whatever it was, 2018. I think 2019 season is 2020 Super Bowl. Yeah, then won the championship against the Niners.
Yeah.
And then lost against Tom Brady. And then won last year, and then won this year.
Fucking loser.
That's pretty good. They've been to 4 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Yeah.
So, it's a franchise. Whether the team says it, or the refs say it, or the league says it.
Legs says it. Yeah,
or
sure.
Taylor Swift's demonic friend. Maybe she says it.
Ice Spice, I think that's her name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, that's her.
I'm impressed.
Who's Ice Spice? Is that like part of is that the reiteration of the Spice Girls?
Putin. You just thumbs up if it's an important person.
Well, no, because oh God, that's like a thumbprint. This is what we got.
Is Ice Spice any good? Thumbs up? Yeah? About 25%, about 50% right there. 75?
65.
75? Is it worth listening to?
That's subjective.
Oh, it's amusing.
Putin's got a bellyache.
Apparently.
It's amusing? Oh, like a bad movie?
Like a low-rate budget film?
It's amusing. Is it like amusing? Like,
all right, we're going to do it. We're going to figure it out right now. Here we go.
I'm going to get a copyright strike. No, I'll just whatever.
Edit this part out.
Yeah.
Let's hear what this is, if it's anything good at all. I really wish I wasn't the one searching this. You need to search some of this shit so it shows up in your thread.
It's just demonic Ice Spice. All the other shit that you have on your phone. That shouldn't really be. This is pretty Manila for you.
Yeah, I've heard some shit.
Yeah, I mean, you were just reading Vince McMahon's text messages.
Think you the shit? Fart official video? Shut up, Putin.
What? This, just in a musician standpoint,
I just find it funny.
This is like something.
Yeah, I can admit it's shitty music.
This is like something.
Okay, hold on.
Someone from around here would make on like Fruity Loops or something.
You're gonna have to cut this part out too, so you're gonna have to edit out this whole little bit. Hold on. Him finding that amusing was like me finding this amusing.
I don't think that was like meant to be good though.
Danny Blaze, remember? Average homeboy.
Isn't this what he sent into MTV?
I don't remember.
But
if you lived on the East Coast, you were supposed to represent East Coast music.
yeah, exactly. I know, that's what I'm saying.
But if you lived on the West Coast, you were supposed to represent the West Side. And that's it.
Yeah.
See, I hear what you're talking about, and this is all I see.
No, you're a musician. That's why I'm interviewing you today, so I can get to know you.
So I'm a musician. What the fuck that mean? Make magic or something? What is musician?
I think you're confusing that.
Yeah, I'm not no musician.
I
I make music. I make music. And that's not all I do. I make music, I act. I'm a TV star too, a young model.
Just really quick, I think you're confusing.
I'm not confusing nothing because you don't know. You thought that all I was a magician or whatever the fuck you said.
See, that's what I think you think I said. I said musician,
I
not magician.
don't think, baby. I don't think. What is that? That's ghetto. I don't think. I know.
So you
think.
I didn't say magician, Suki. I said musician. And I think you are a musician.
No, baby. I do music.
So you just really quick, for the record, because you say you don't think you're a musician.
I'm not none of that.
But then after that, you just said I do music.
Yeah, I do music.
So, in other words, you're a musician.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
What do you know?
Yeah. So
Please put a bullet in her.
so that's what like
That's
I
the future.
don't know. When I see like what's her face, Ice Cube or Ice Llama or Latte or whatever. Spice, Ice Spice. That's what it was. I literally couldn't fucking remember her name. That is what I see. That kind of video.
I didn't admit it.
I just see that.
And I was waiting for Ice Ice Baby. I got Ice Ice Manila. What the fuck?
Ice. I don't remember what I said.
I don't remember either. All right, Putin, go back to.
But I couldn't
being quiet.
I couldn't fucking. Like that's all I saw.
You think that's bad? You want to hear something worse?
No, I gotta cut so much shit out already.
Real quick. I got you.
Oh.
This one. Ugh. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. That is the. That is the lyric. All right, Putin, shush. Real quick, because everything just got cut out that you didn't get to hear. All I gotta say is my coochie pink, my booty hole brown. That is a rap lyric. I swear to God, that chick literally put her mouth on the end of an exhaust and said, "Start the car. I need my inspiration."
I got it. It's so bad.
My coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
It's so bad.
Really?
Oh man. Wow, that's bad. That's bad.
I'd
that's-
rather actually. Yeah. I'd rather. Oh God, no.
Even her delivery and lyrics are lazy. Like
It's-
you can
yeah.
just hear the lazy. Like I don't even want to actually say what I'm supposed to be saying or.
No, I don't want to try. I'm just gonna speak, and this is really cool.
My fans
blah
are
blah
fucking
blah
stupid.
blah blah
They'll
blah
buy it
blah.
anyway.
Exactly. And the worst
Oh
part
my
is,
God! Did you hear the new single from Pound Town?
that song apparently did so good.
Booty
Nicki
hoes.
Minaj fucking remixed it with her.
What? Of course she did. Are you really that surprised?
I'm not surprised. Not with Nicki Minaj.
Okay, wait a minute.
Especially when she did it.
Wait a minute. Okay, so we just heard that. Our booty hole pound towns. All right? And now what we heard from Vince McMahon. Is it really that bad what Vince McMahon did?
No.
Have we really changed much over
You want me to read the rest of the text messages?
the only thing
I'll blank 'em.
the only thing that's happened between the 1960s and 70s, 77-year-old Vince McMahon, and now it's just out in the open.
Yeah.
So really, you know what's funny? Nobody will get in trouble for anything there. They're selling records. But Vince McMahon, who kept it under wraps, that's what it is. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Just do it out in public. So everyone
And put a
can
beat to it.
See, the reason why McMahon is in trouble is because the fucker didn't share it with anybody else.
And he didn't have a good recording studio.
That's
to do
right.
it
You
in.
just have to go to Radio Shack, which is now defunct, and get one of those little tiny keyboards and go. And then shit on some broad's head.
I'm not surprised Nicki Minaj redid it with her though, because this is also the bitch that did a fucking collab with Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, the rat.
Isn't he the one with like his
The rainbow hair and gold teeth.
yeah, he's got that crazy ass. Every time I see those grills, I think of the quarter machines outside like Walmart, the 50 of them that are in a line. Like that's what I see. It's like that's something you would get out of one of those machines.
I think he did. No, and that
This costs
fucker,
way more money than that. It's like you saved a bunch of quarters.
that fucker is walking on the street now. He went out. He went after like Snoop,
I have no idea.
Ice-T. I was actually following that quite a bit.
Not me.
Tekashi rolled on the gang he was in, everything, and then
they
he tried.
had some kind of beef.
No, he got in trouble. They got busted with some gun charges and some violence.
What you don't say?
They got nailed with some shit going on, so they got gun charges, a bunch of other slew of things. Tekashi chirped like a fucking songbird. Like, I didn't do it. It's this person, this person, this person. Gave up everybody and everything.
You know what the crazy thing is? Tom McDonald's the one that's like attacked. The last song they had, Facts.
Yeah.
we won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if I offend you. Like, how the fuck is that offensive?
That's not offensive.
I know. Hey, if you rapped about your booty hole being brown, it would be no
Are
problem.
you sure it was the booty hole? 'Cause I don't remember if it was the coochie was brown and the booty hole pinky town. I don't remember.
I think that's it. That's
My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Oh my god, I hate that sound.
What are you talking about? That's fucking
You know, the
gold.
one when she talks.
Did that go gold?
What do you mean?
Did that song go platinum or gold?
Oh, I don't know. It's
That
got over
album?
1 million views.
It probably did. I don't know how you track YouTube views. It's hard to track those, but anyway, getting away from booty hoes.
Please.
Booty hoes. What a fucking weird conversation. That went way off from the Super Bowl. And that's about what the Super Bowl equated to me. It's just a booty hoe.
There was no Pound Town in that stadium. It was not a...
You know what's funny? One last side note. All the Philadelphia, Dallas fans, all the Ram fans, all of them that's come out after and be like, "Whoa, the 40 Winer." I knew that was going to happen. But it's always special.
How many Super Bowls have you fuckers been to? Not as many.
It's not even that. I just, like, whatever. They lost. I'm like, well, that sucks. Anyway.
We don't burn down a city like they do in Detroit or
It's not
Philadelphia.
even- I used to be that kind of sports fan, mostly with the Yankees. Like, when they lost, it would fucking affect my next day. Like, it was just, the day would suck. And then I'm like, I don't even have anything invested in this team. Like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I just stopped watching. I used to watch almost every single game a season for the Yankees.
Yeah.
And 49ers, I'd watch all the games I could anyway. And I stopped watching like that, which made it more enjoyable. It did. It made it more enjoyable. And I turned it basically into like my grandmother, a fair weather fan. It's like, if they're losing, I'm not going to sit there and just sit and watch them get beat and be like, boy, this sucks. But I'm going to keep watching for the next 2 hours because that's going to be fun. Like, I got better things to do. I'll tune in. I watch it sparingly, like wrestling, where I tune in to watch YouTube clips instead of a 3-hour show. I just watch 15 minutes worth. Catch up with the story, see what's going on, and then like.
Are you really getting old then, or are you becoming like the younger generation and shortening 3 hours into 15 minutes for your attention span?
Yep.
Okay, good.
I mean, yes and yes.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. That's why I clipped the show into TikTok clips.
Oh yeah,
It's about 15 minutes worth out of an hour and a half. So, anyway, Elden news.
Elden, yeah.
Get onto that because I haven't even hit any of the main things.
I know.
Still in the intro stuff. The DLC, I guess, is going to be the size of it because it was. There's a rumor that it's going to drop the 25th of this month, which would be the 2-year anniversary. But there's nothing definitive. That could be this month. It could be in a year. Who knows? But one thing I
Could be February of 2025. Yeah.
I guess what's been sort of confirmed, or at least confirmed, is the size of it. It was originally supposed to be 2 DLCs, but they compacted it into one big one. It's supposed to be half of the size of the base game of Elden Ring.
Holy shit.
Which is fucking huge.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, that's now we've just conservatively cut everything in half. That's like 150 new weapons. It's like,
Oh God.
that's I don't know how many like main new bosses will be, like say 3, but there's like 120 or something field bosses, 118, something like that. That's gonna be a huge fucking. But then I'm like, where's it gonna be? Like underground? Is it gonna be? If it's Shadow of the Erd Tree, I would assume most of it's gonna be underground.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for that. And it's probably gonna range between $30 and $40. The DLC, if it's gonna be that big, I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
I look forward to that.
Anyway, moving on to actual shit instead of talking about booty hoes and whatever fucking McMahon shitting. And, jeez Louise. Oh, the border security bill,
Oh God.
which was abolished, but what was in it? What? There was a lot of things in it most of them didn't have anything to do with the border. But that's how bills are passed nowadays. So the security bill had $60 billion included for Ukraine. A lot of people got wind of it. They struck it down. It was like, no. Let's see. See, from AP News, border bill supporters combat misleading claims that would let in more migrants. I think this is what I was talking about. And the proposal, if the proposal were passed into law, the new authority could be triggered almost immediately, given that border encounters topped 10,000 on some days during December, which was the highest month on record for illegal crossings. Even former President Trump called the idea of 5,000. Oh yeah, they're supposed to put a threshold. The bill that would have passed, they were going to put a threshold on the bill. So I'm going to paraphrase this. The new bill that they were working on said the threshold they would set for a day. It would be 5,000 to 8,500 immigrants per day if they crossed, and then they would basically shut the border and start to charge people. So instead of having 10,000 people go across a day, they cut it down to 5. Well, now we're going to do something. I don't know why that's a fucking number, why the magic number is 5,000, but it is. The thing that they got, though, the thing that is misleading is the terminology, the wordage they use in it. On page 213, states aliens from non-contingent countries, which means countries that don't border the United States, that don't touch the United States. So Mexico and Canada. The aliens from non-contingent countries are not included in calculating the sum of aliens encountered. So if they're not from Canada, not from Mexico, those do not count toward the 5,000 per day. So all those Canadian fucking refugees crossing our border, it'll stop them. But Guatemala, Iran, China, what other? Cuba, wherever you say, from any other fucking country but those two, not counted.
So basically 5,000 people a day can come from Canada or from Mexico. But we'll still let in 100,000 Syrians, or 100,000 Africans, or 100,000 Europeans, or 100,000 Asians, because that won't count towards the 5,000 number.
Yeah, basically.
That's a ploy. They're trying to get them to agree so that they can open the border and let everyone flood in. Because then all of a sudden it'll be, oh, I'm not from Mexico. I'm not from Guam, Missy. I'm from Africa. I'm Hispanic. I could talk like that. It's not racist. Fuck off. Yeah, Holmes. My name is Jesus Lee. I mean, Bruce Lee.
Jesus and Bruce. Not even close.
Jesus Bruce Lee. That's my name. It's okay. I'm Asian. I know Kung Fu. I also know how to roll a burrito.
Oh.
I think I'm starting to offend myself.
So the legislation would further incentivize thousands of illegals to pour in across our border daily. The number 4 Republican, formerly, even before the text was released, former President Donald Trump called the idea of a 5,000 threshold record-setting stuff and said supporting the package would also include $60 billion in wartime aid for Ukraine. This whole thing doesn't surprise me. The thing is because they added all right, gather my thoughts here. In regards to the border, it's called the border bill. So it's supposed to focus on the border.
Yeah.
There's only $20 billion of this package put toward the border.
But isn't the package a $96 billion bill? Or something
I'll
like
get to that. That's
Okay.
the new one.
Okay.
60 billion of the original was going to go toward Ukraine foreign war. Now, with the package toward the border, they had this threshold idea. It's like, well, we'll make it so we only allow 5,000 per day before we start actually processing, which you should do with the first one, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. So they do that. It's struck down. Republicans are like, no. But when they passed this bill, or when they tried to pass this bill, they added the Ukraine thing, knowing that Republicans would shoot it down. Why? 'Cause that's fucking playing chess. Because now Republicans say, we don't want this bill to go across. We got $20 billion for the border. But now Democrats are going to go, well, the Republicans, they're so keen on the border, but now they're not going to pass this bill which supports the borders because you got fucking Ukraine shit in there.
Yep.
That's why we send it. Yeah, that's pretty standard stuff now because they've done this many, many times.
It's attacked.
So, yeah. So they shut it down. Okay. Here's the kicker. While we were all watching, like, Kelsey and the Taylors during the Super Bowl, while we were all watching that Sunday, the Senate is in session. Why? Because they were working on Congress was in session. They were working on a new bill. That's the $95 billion bill specifically for Ukraine, Israel, all the foreign war. They took the border shit out, jacked up the price, and steamrolled that through. And you know what's fun too? This is with the original bill. There was a clip of Biden strictly blaming the border on the MAGA Republicans and
Yes.
Trump. He said, if this bill doesn't pass, it's because of the MAGA Republicans. Like,
Okay, so apparently, because I think if I remember correctly, the first time it didn't pass, there was some Democratic votes that went no. Apparently, there's MAGA Republicans in the Democratic Party.
those fuckers, they're starting to bleed everywhere. They're infiltrating everything. It's a border amnesty bill. It was a border amnesty bill. That's what it was. And that's what I like. This is what Reagan did in the 80s. If you grant amnesty, it's like they're here. All the criminal aliens that came across are just here.
Yep.
Right? So I'm like, this can't. But then, how do you get them out? I mean, Trump says this. Everyone says this, like, oh, if I get in, we're just going to go through and get all of them out. How? Where? Where are they? They're illegal. You have a piece of paper with a name, or some of them don't even have that when they travel, evidently.
Yep.
So how are you going to find them all? Good luck. I don't know how they're going to manage that one.
Jesus.
Yeah, so $95 billion for Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. Oh, yeah, and the bill too. I guess there was also a clause in it that if any president from here to 2030 tries to stop the aid that goes to these foreign countries, that gives the government grounds to impeach that president.
Wow.
So basically what they're trying to do, to me that says this. The left knows that they're going to lose this next election unless they pull like a Michael Obama or something out of their fucking pocket.
You hear about that, did you?
Who hasn't? They know they're going to lose. So they can't work toward winning the next election. So what they're going to do is set a shit ton of traps. So whoever, Trump, gets back in office is just caught with his hands tied. In every aspect of the word.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, and a side note for this whole thing. DHS Secretary Mayorkas, he got impeached
Yeah.
for not dealing with the border crisis. But then, like, I put a note here, like, so fucking what? What's going to happen? Nothing. Never does. Nothing. Add on to Joe Biden, blaming Republicans and everything, with his documents. And we were covering Trump's documents from like a year and a half ago when they found his documents, whatever. And then, like, a few short weeks later, Biden, it was like a month and a half later, I think, Biden had documents in his garage.
Oh, yeah.
That were, the garage door was locked. I'm like, yeah. But, yeah, whatever. his DOJ said they're not going to charge him, and yeah, they said they're not going to charge him because he's an older man that's forgetful. Is what it boils down to.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I did hear
It's just
that.
he's an older man. He means well, and he's just forgetful. I'm like, so why is he at the helm? But here's the thing.
I mean, honestly, though, would you rather him at the helm or Kamala? I mean, come on. A woman running this country? We're going to get 1 week a year where the country gets to be on her period. Ooh.
1 week.
It's a joke, ladies. Relax. It's a dick, not a joke. It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Do you even know what it is? I lost train of thought, so it doesn't matter. Oh, with the scrutiny, like all the criticism of, all right, so obviously the independents and the right constantly attack Joe Biden. We do all the time on this show. And the left constantly like go to bat for him. And they stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. Like they do fucking gymnastics and yoga on a daily to defend him.
They're the best contortionists in the world.
And here's the thing. I know they've got their the right has their cult of followers for Trump. My argument is this, though. If you're going to point out things that Trump says or does or how he's just kind of bumbling here and there, you got to do it for Biden. If you're going to point out Trump's illegal documents, you have to do it for Biden. You can't just turn a blind eye for one side. If you're going to follow the Constitution, the law, you have to do it across the board. And it's never fucking done.
No, God,
it's
no.
never done.
Just think. If Kamala Harris does end up becoming president before Biden finishes his term, I think
there's a good possibility that might happen.
I'm going to rent a helicopter.
And it might be next month.
And get a giant, 80-foot big.
80 foot big.
80 foot, like a huge. I'm going to get the world's largest water balloon and fill it with red paint. I'm going to fly that helicopter right at the Statue of Liberty's crotch. Look. Lady Liberty's on her period.
Front fart.
That's a lot of front fart.
Oh, it's in my eyes.
It's all red. Because the balloon's going to be filled with red paint. Oh, fuck you. It's a joke. Relax.
So, Joe, being forgetful, he mistook the president of Egypt. France.
Oh, no, Sisi, yeah, with Mexico.
In Mexico. It's like, at first he's like, I looked next door to the president, Sisi, who's in Mexico. And then, but it's like, oh, man, Mexico's not next to Gaza. But he forgot that.
So he's mixing up world leaders and dead.
He forgot his fucking, when his son died. Where his son died.
Oh, yeah.
He forgot that.
His other son.
You can't.
Not the one that actually should. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. God damn you two. Relax. What?
Jeez Louise.
Always come back strong.
It's always nice to have Charlie here. Because when he says something spicy, I just get ugh. And the temperature's going up. It's getting spicy.
All I can think, it's funny you say that because I watched the TikTok earlier. It shows something from The Office. It's a scene when everybody's getting along and the work's going good and everybody's getting so close to that goal of accomplishing what everybody really wanted. And then it shows, so then you get that one coworker who comes in and fucks shit up, and it shows Jason Voorhees walking around, kicks the radio. Everyone's like, so that's me. The show's going great. Everyone's having a great time. We're putting out a lot of podcasts. I come in and fuck shit up.
Yeah, but you can't even say that. He's on most of it. He's just here kicking radios every fucking week.
So you're sleepy.
Tucker put on a kill list for the Putin. Tucker Carlson put on a kill list for the Putin interview.
A kill list?
Quote unquote.
He was Like Putin put him on the kill list?
No.
No, somebody in America put him on a kill list?
Sort of.
All because he wanted to hear both sides of the story? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Putin could be the worst fucking person in this world. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's not. But Putin could be the most diabolical human being on this planet right now. But the fact of the matter is that somebody had the gall. Somebody had the actual integrity, excuse me, not gall. Somebody had the actual integrity to say, you know what? I know side A. Let me hear side B.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a system in place in America where 12 people get to decide whether you're good or bad in a situation in a room where you get to hear both sides of the story, right?
It's almost like he's doing journalism. You know.
Stop making up words, you fucking rich boy. God.
I ain't no magician. I ain't no musician. I do music. So the EU considers sanctioning Tucker Carlson over interview with
clock up there.
Vladimir Putin. Isn't it nice? I know exactly what time it
It
is.
really is nice,
Yeah.
actually. I can't even rag on
You
it.
know how disgustingly excited I was when that came in the mail?
You know you know how old we are this year?
I know.
It's awesome.
That's why when I get a clock in the mail, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got a clock. Huge fucking letters on it.
Clock? Oh, boy.
And-
we have totally, completely
And
dimmed
it's got the date. And it's got the temperature.
We've really got different Amazon shopping lists where the words rhyme. You know that?
Block?
I do get a lot of blocks in the mail. How'd you guess?
Yeah.
Blanks, too. I get a lot of blanks in the blank.
Oh, let's see. Putin, it's a Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov confirmed that Carlson met and talked with Putin, as did the same Fox News anchor himself on a post to social media platform X, explaining he sat down, EU officials are considering imposing a travel ban on Carlson, who they say is acting as a mouthpiece for Putin. As Putin is a war criminal, and the EU sanctions all who assist him in the effort, it seems logical that the External Action Service examine his case as well. An unnamed EU official told Newsweek, who first broke the story, European leaders have been at odds with Russia for 2 years over Moscow's kinetic confrontation with Ukraine over Kyiv's budding relationship with the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. Ukraine's membership in NATO has always been a red line for the Kremlin. 3 decades ago, Western leaders gave Russian officials repeated assurances that NATO would not expand its sphere of activity, yet despite decades of warnings from Russian officials, the U.S. and EU have forged ahead with bringing NATO military assets closer to Russia's border.
So, just to recap, folks, basically, Russia, this interview between Carlson and Putin said, look, we've been warning everybody to stay out of our business, but you guys keep poking your noses in it. So, now we're doing something about it.
Basically, yes.
I just tried to layman's term it the best I could.
Right. That's really watered down, but that's what's happened.
Now, I'm not saying some of the things he might have done or hasn't done or will do or plans to do or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying he's justified in anything that may have happened that anybody would consider a war crime.
Right.
But in the same breath, it's like, oh, fuck. I feel like I'm watching the little special kid at the store pet the dog the wrong way. Excuse me, ma'am, please tell your son to stop petting my dog. He doesn't like that. It's okay. He's special. No, ma'am, my dog doesn't like that. He's very sensitive. It's okay. He doesn't mean anything by it. And then he bites the dog's ear, and the dog bites the kid's hand. I'm not saying...
I'm a victim blamer.
in this instance, yeah. Sorry. If someone says to you, please don't touch my dog, you touch the dog, and the dog bites you, you don't get the right to sue that person. You were expressly told, please do not.
Oh, you're right. It says, first of all, it should be remembered that Putin is not just a president of an aggressor country, but he is wanted by the International Crime Court and accused of genocide and war crimes. MEP Urmas Pate who previously served as Estonia's foreign minister, told Newsweek. Carlson wants to give a platform to someone accused of crimes of genocide. This is wrong. If Putin has something to say, he needs to say it in front of the ICC.
So wait, what validity is behind? Is there any validity behind the statement that Putin is guilty of genocide? Let me ask you that.
I will say this about communism. Russia's a communist country.
Yeah.
Communism, historically, is responsible for more deaths than probably any war historically in recorded history. So, by that measure, I guess so. But is that like Hitler and the Jews genocide? No. Now, if we're just talking about communism as in the political, social system, yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to throw an example out there. So what you're saying is based on the principle of a form of government.
Right.
Communism is responsible for so many deaths. As would be Budweiser, Coors Light, Michelob, any beer distributor should be charged with genocide for the amount of alcohol-related deaths every year.
I said the only difference between that is the people, and now this is a loose comparison, but the people with those things are willing participants in those things. And it's not so much the alcohol that is killing them, but it's what happens after the consumption.
So let me ask you this. What do you mean? How are people dying? You said it's responsible for so many deaths. How?
Okay, well, I got the number
by
here.
what
Because I figured that was going to come up. So, estimated number of victims. According to the introduction, the number of people killed by communist governments amounts to more than 94 million. 94 million people. The statistics of victims includes deaths through executions, man-made hunger, famine, war, deportations, and forced labor.
Okay, so forced labor, deportations, and I'm sorry,
famine, man-made hunger, and executions.
Executions. So
enemy of the state.
The 4 of the 5 seem like. See, I don't know. Execution. Why do we execute anyone here in America?
That's a debate that's gone on for a long time. You talking about like prisoners?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a debate. That's just people for or against the death penalty.
Are these people being executed over in Russia or whatever, in any communist state for that matter? Are they walking on the wrong side of the street so they get a bullet to their head?
Enemy of the state.
What is...
If someone comes in and accuses you, it's like you're giving information to a neighboring country that's a capitalist country or what have you. Could be another communist country, but they're at war with yours. Enemy of the state. You're gone.
So hold on. Is there any sort of like judiciary system, like a judge or a courtroom?
Yeah, kind of like you say Biden's DOJ now, just on a grander scale.
So there is some sort of like a hearing, a processing, a trial.
The same way there's.
And if you prove your innocence, what happens?
The same way as there's an election cycle in Puerto Rico, or not Puerto Rico, Cuba. It just so happens there's only one person running all the time.
Yeah,
like they have these systems. They have this stuff. Sort of. It's like it's put in place, but it's heavily influenced of how they want it to work. You know, ours is we have so many checks and balances for a reason. It's almost like the founding fathers saw the shit that was going on and like, not a great idea. So we have checks and balances. These other countries do not. Communism does not. Their checks and balances. If you want to super water it down without like a bunch of political systems involved, it is the modern iteration of the feudals, like kings, queens, what have you. Mm-hmm. The king says that's how it goes. There is no checks and balances there.
Okay.
So, going back, if you want to compare it to that genocide, yes. But again, is it like Hitler and that kind of genocide, which is just blatant?
Yeah, no.
No.
But you got to remember, the Holocaust wasn't about race.
How do you... That's right. Whoopi knows.
Just ask Karen.
That's right. Jeez.
Whoopi, Karen, Johnson, Goldberg. Goldberg.
No, that she.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
So yeah, but going by talking about Putin, the other Putin. Tucker went over there, had the interview.
Yeah,
it was like a 2-hour interview.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
Yeah,
bits and pieces.
And he was put on I think Ukraine. He was put on a hit list. Now that's what was going around on social media, TikToks, like, oh, Tucker was put on a hit list. That was sort of true, and it was sort of true because, first off, the hit list they're talking about isn't a hit list. It's a watch list. It's a propagandist watch list. The thing is, he was on that in August. He got put on that list. It had nothing to do with the Putin list at all, or the Putin interview. Nothing to do with that at all, because he was already on it. It's not a hit list. It's a propaganda watch list. But that list, there's a large group of people off that list that just happened
to unalive
to
themselves.
have been unalived. So that's why I say
Clinton's secretary or assistant.
Yeah, hung himself
and shot himself.
Yeah, and then chucked the gun 30 feet away or whatever it was. So it's sort of true, but it wasn't because of the Putin interview.
Yeah.
It just so happened because Tucker talks a lot, and well, the state doesn't like that. We're not a communist country, though. No gulag for us yet.
Welcome to the gulag. Look forward to that in real life.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to stop talking, but I'll talk all the way there. You can't shut me up. And they're going to do to me what they did to Wade in the fucking one X-Men or Wolverine movie where they just have a graft their skin over his
See,
mouth.
Stryker finally found a way to shut you up.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Sorry. Just cleaning up the timelines. Big fan. Go about you doing. Like 3 more shots. He shoots himself like 7 times.
What's that? Is that the one where he said, in the future,
Oh, yeah.
Ryan's gonna ask you to,
if your buddy asks you to get back on the saddle, you want to do it. Okay. Oh, really quick side note. You hear about that? Hugh Jackman actually got in on Ryan Reynolds' side and said, no.
Yeah.
Disney, fuck off.
Yeah. There's been a whole bunch, and I talked with Rich about this too, because he follows Marvel super hardcore. So, I guess there was a whole bunch of. All right, so She-Hulk. Let's start with that.
Yeah, She-Hulk was supposed to be like a 5-minute scene.
She had like 12 minutes of cameo footage in the movie. And there's a whole huge stink. They canceled her show, and I think they fired her last I heard. So she's gone. But yeah, because I guess she was kind of like the Brie Larson character in the back as far as off camera. So she was kind of a dink.
Yeah.
So there was just a bunch of shit. And, Disney wanted to put their fingers in the fucking... whatever,
the woke pot
and the booty hole, and they just fucking were pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally booty hole Ryan
go so far.
Booty hole Ryan finally went, get your fingers out of there, and then pushed back. Didn't look back though, so it was okay.
Yep.
So,
no, but apparently Jackman got involved with it too.
Did he?
Yeah.
What'd he say? I have no idea. I that's all I heard was that
So
she was involved and now she's not.
they wanted. Apparently, there was
An animal saving scene like in Star Wars.
Apparently, there was Disney said, "Hey, come here. We got to talk about this real quick. We want you to put all this in there too." And it was supposed to be like an alternate universe where all of the Marvel characters
Or
now-
female.
Female,
That's right. I
yes.
did hear that.
And they basically wanted Wade Wilson
Why?
and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Hugh. They wanted them to literally dumb down their
Characters?
no, basically they wanted them to turn what they were saying into we men dumb, women smart, women better. They wanted their characters to legit, basically they wanted their humors, their personalities, they wanted everything to back burner to push these female characters.
You see, if we weren't dealing with the whole, like everything that's going on with Disney the last few years, I'd be okay with that. As like this comedic trope in the middle of a movie, they went to this universe where all these women that were superior intelligent, like they just went in there like, what the fuck are we doing here? I wouldn't give a shit. But the fact that it's just been this over and over and over and over, and Disney just fucking like infinity doubles down on this bullshit constantly. It's like, what? And then you tell me it's like, oh yeah, they were going to do this thing with it. It's like, why? Why?
Didn't Ryan Reynolds or didn't Wade Wilson say in Deadpool 2, just once, I'd love to go to a place where everybody is way worse than me at everything. And Weasel says, Canada? He goes, you shut your filthy mouth. I think he was talking about the all-female universe in Marvel.
Yeah, they're probably all in Canada.
Functioning idiots.
They're all Canadian.
The whole universe of functioning idiots. Kidding. Relax. For God's sakes, ladies, set your vibrator on high and just enjoy the show.
You're just pushing all sorts of boundaries.
Yeah, I
here.
am. I'm sorry.
Jeez Louise.
I got a lot of pent-up aggression, okay?
Yeah. Did it force you to stop and kick NYPD officers? Because two migrants did.
You can't prove that was me.
Criminal aliens.
Or
You were missing for the last week from the show. Where have you been?
okay. Or you mean the two illegal immigrants, the two illegal aliens? Fuck that immigrant bullshit.
No, they're criminal. The legal term for them is criminal alien.
Illegal aliens
The legal term.
who broke the law.
Criminal alien. So
So
that's
they're
so they
criminal-
don't want to be. I'm not illegal aliens. Fine, you're a criminal alien then.
You're an
Because
American.
that by the law and litigation, definitively, you are a criminal alien.
So you should be deported. But whatever. Okay. Yeah, aren't those the same? No, I think I heard about that. Yeah, I did. And then I also heard about the one of them that got released on no bail, beating up a security guard to within an inch of his life a week later. Or 2 weeks later, or something like that.
Two violent migrants who were captured on CCTV stopping and kicking two police officers during their vicious Times Square attack late last month have yet to be arrested at this time. This was...
Well, they were arrested, but they were released without bail.
This is...
They were released with no bail. So they literally walked in and said, hey, you guys are going to have to come back and answer for these crimes, at your soonest convenience, whatever's good for you. By the way, go on home. We're not going to hold you here and make you pay money to get back out. And then one of them, a couple weeks later, goes and beats up a fucking security guard to within an inch of his life. And that time he was in cuffs, videotaped, going into the back of a car and everything. Wow, fuck that guy, send him back.
They won't.
No.
They'll send them to Martha's Vineyard. Suspects have yet to be apprehended at the time of this article in relation to the shocking attack where a mob of illegal immigrants kicked and beat the NYPD officers just steps from the New Amsterdam Theater, a popular destination among tourists. In photos released by police on Wednesday, one migrant is pictured wearing a red hoodie, black pants, black sneakers, and white baseball cap. In the now viral video of the attack, police say that the migrant stomps on a lieutenant's head as a police officer tries to apprehend a suspect on the ground. The migrant then kicked the other officer in the back before returning it and taking a kick at the lieutenant. Well, that's nice.
Oh, yeah.
And then I did hear after the fact, after this article, that they were apprehended and then released with no bail.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're telling me that one of them went after the fact, after that,
Yep. Hold on.
All right. Whoopsie. Yeah, and what? I don't know why the weather just came up. And you know, I see things on social media, well, TikTok, because people go live on there, and I always get one side or the other, always streaming live things, looking for debates. And every now and again, I get one that comes up, and it says, "Tell me why people coming across the border is bad." And then he's had things like this happen, and I'm like, I don't need to tell you. All you have to do is look. But again, like the arguing, you're Biden, Trump, whatever, you always accentuate the positive and hide the negative. Except in Biden's case, there's so much negative.
One of the illegal immigrants who attacked an NYPD arrested again and beat down of Macy's security guard. An illegal immigrant who was at large after being named as a suspect in the January beating of 2 New York City police officers has been arrested. Darwin Andre Gomez Isquiel, 19, was arrested Tuesday night and charged with robbery and petty larceny in connection with a robbery at a Macy's store in Queens. According to the New York Post, police said 4 people entered the Queens Center Mall store and were acting in concert to steal clothes. According to the Post, the suspects tried to hide the clothes in bags. Where's the rest of the article? I'll read full story.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, it says, meanwhile, Javier Martinez, 19, was arrested days after the attack and charged with disorderly conduct, disrupting traffic and possession of a controlled substance after the exchange words passing officers outside the Roosevelt Hotel. This is a different guy, but go ahead.
Okay, so apparently it wasn't as extreme as the original video I saw said. A 27-year-old security guard tried to intervene but was punched in the face, and after he and some of the suspects was punched in the face after he and some of the suspects struggled, according to the Post. The guard was injured but refused medical attention. Police accused Isquiel of being... where'd that go? The lookout for the others, according to the New York Daily News. All of the suspects fled the store. Isquiel was arrested after a wanted poster for him was issued.
You see him, one of them walking by the camera, flicking off the camera after he's...
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, oh yeah, they a couple of them did it. They were fucking boasting that shit loud and proud. And this is the oh wow. The judicial and oh man, I can't.
More than 170,000 migrants have arrived in New York City since 2022. Officials hope that the cost of the crisis will be split equally 3 ways between the city, state, and federal governments. But
fuck the rest of the state. Fuck that shit.
But Adams admitted that the federal government never agreed to the arrangement. So far, the Biden administration has allocated around $150 million in federal aid.
Fuck that shit.
About $1.3 billion of the $2.4 billion that New York Governor Kathy Hochul has already committed to paying for large-scale migrant tent shelters in Queens. So we're fucking going to make a tent city in New York City.
Again.
Why not? That's probably where all of the homeless people in L.A. went when Xi Jinping was coming. It's like, where'd they all go? They cleaned everything up. They just fucking shipped them over to New York. Fuck those guys. Here you go, Hochul. It's just a joke between Gavin Newsom and Kathy Hochul.
Yeah.
It's like those penis things that I gave you guys. Every now and again, you just suddenly shove one off to you. I'm like, what the hell?
Julius, I talked to him about that. He goes, yeah, he's a dick. I'm like, what? He goes, so was the gift he sent you? He goes, oh, you knew about that? I'm like, yeah, I knew.
Yeah, so we're just going to make Tent City in New York City. Why not? How
about TNYC, Tent New York City?
Why not? There are a couple more things here. One is the Nevada primary. Nikki Haley lost.
To no one. No one beat Nikki Haley.
Yes.
I think...
Literally. Not nobody as in nobody beat her, but nobody as in the choice of nobody other than these candidates,
The choice of
nobody beat her. She lost to nobody.
yeah, like by 30%.
By a lot.
It was like 63 to 37. She got stomped. Like she definitely has the muddy footprint between her thighs.
Nikki
Someone
Haley
kicked her right in the mud.
suffered an embarrassing defeat in Nevada's Republican presidential primary contest when she was beaten by the, quote, none of these candidates, quote, option. Despite Donald Trump's absence from the ballot. Trump wasn't even in it.
Didn't she also lose her own home state?
Yes, she did.
Yes. And now she's trying to go Trump into a debate. He's like, there's no reason to debate you. You can't beat me.
Joe Biden, meanwhile, secured another easy primary victory after a soggy, subdued election day in Nevada. Associated Press called the results about 2 hours after polls closed. Biden's nearest challenger, Marianne Williamson, registered only in the low single digits. Jesus. The race is essentially meaningless in the nominating process. However, as big an event as Republicans is on Thursday, when the GOP will hold caucus with Trump on the ballot, that will determine the actual delegates. Let's see, do they have the numbers? I want to know the numbers. Oh, no, that's the impeachment. No, I don't have the numbers. I know it was a large margin.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, because I think nobody had like, was it like 63% or
That's what I
something?
said.
She got like 31% or
Yeah,
something like that.
It wasn't a perfect 100. That's right.
No, it was.
It was like 63 something.
I mean, obviously, it was obvious that because Trump wasn't on the ballot, everyone that would have voted Trump voted nobody. But just the visual that came about that again, that's something you see on like Futurama. Like, there's a presidential
the new
election.
president of the world is Richard Nixon.
And you know what I automatically thought of? And Rich would have gotten a kick out of this one, but there's a trope in the wrestling community when a title is stripped from somebody and it says title holder vacant. Vacant is the undisputed champion of every single belt in the history of everything in wrestling.
He's had every belt.
He's had every belt and never lost it. It just gets stripped from him and given to somebody else. Vacant has now left the wrestling community and entered the presidential realm. And now Vacant is fucking front runner for the president of the United States. At least if Trump keeps getting taken off the ticket in all these states, the next president will be nobody. The same one who holds every fucking championship in the women's, men's, and interracial divisions.
That fucker. Vacant started the whole trans movement by being the winner in the women's category and the men's category in wrestling. Way to go, Vacant.
He's so good he had to create his own gender, or 73 of them for that matter.
Oh, shit.
So Vacant's going to be the next president. I can't wait. You know why? He doesn't have a face. It's just a gray shape with Vacant wording.
You know what? He can't be any worse of a candidate than D's Nuts. Remember that?
What was that?
And that was legit.
2012?
Yeah, that was legit.
Yeah, I know that was. What'd they have, like 4% of the vote or something? I mean, it was small, but it's just the fact that it was there.
People saw it and go,
why not?
Sure.
All right. You remember a while ago, maybe not even a year ago, maybe it was like half a year ago, maybe it was last summer or something, we talked about The Line. And we were talking about 15-minute cities. And then The Line, Saudi Arabia line, city that was going to be however long. That is under construction. Like, for real. I thought it was going to be something that was brought up, batted around, like, oh, yeah, wouldn't that be something? Like, it's a futuristic idea, but then never really thought about it again. It's under construction. It says, meet The Line, Saudi Arabia, 106-mile, one-building city. One building.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia is home to some of the most, blah, 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 I don't care about that. Saudi Arabian government unveiled plans.
The party didn't read
in
it was,
2021.
Saudi Arabia is home of a rich culture with nothing but valiant and epic history and people of importance that have contributed to much to modern science. None of that's important. Go ahead.
Nope, not that. The city of Nome, I guess, Neom.
They forgot the G.
Neom.
It's Gnome. Say it right.
Including a megastructure called the Line, Saudi Arabia. A massive scheme, still years from completion. The Line is designed to be an entire city composed of 2 parallel, 656-foot wide skyscrapers, each 106 miles long and 1,640 feet high, higher than most of the world's tallest skyscrapers, stretching across the northwest part of Saudi Arabia near the Red Sea. If you think this sounds like a setting for a futuristic utopian novel, you're not wrong. The Line is being described as a one-building vertical city outfitted with exterior mirrors big enough to house 9 million people, along with everything needed to support urban life, from parks, waterfalls, to flying taxis and robot maids. There are even plans to include an artificial moon for residents to gaze upon.
Oh, God.
The Line features, it is purposed...
Wait a minute.
It is proposed width of only 656 feet. The linear city will rely primarily on its height to encompass its residents and host a modern trappings such as high-speed train to connect sections of the 106-mile city. Saudi Arabia officials claim that the Line will otherwise be devoid of roads, cars, and emissions, of course, and will be powered strictly by clean energy, which I have a lot to fucking say about clean energy, but... here are a few of the most notable line. Okay, now that's just...
So what you're saying is America Online is to blame for everything.
Yes. America will be on the line. All I see...
Because you're telling me the AI is going to create a moon for these people. So wouldn't it be an AIM? AOL Instant Messenger. America Online. They've been behind it all along.
Who owns America Online?
I don't know anymore. It's not even a company anymore. I think it's pretty much dead.
Is it? You sure no one bought it and then rebranded it?
Okay, Google. Is America Online still a thing?
According to Tech Monitor, yes, AOL is still around and operating today, but the modern-day America Online bears little resemblance to its former self.
While the provision of internet and email services were its biggest business areas, biggest business areas, today it operates as a digital media company.
Well, that answers that. So, what's going to be included in the Line? Vertically layered homes, offices, park buildings, and public schools. Everything instead of this way is going to be this way.
Okay.
I got to go to the store. Year-round climate control of all indoor and outdoor spaces. High-speed rail with just 4 stops that will transport residents from end to end in 20 minutes.
106 miles in 20 minutes? Bullshit.
A 5-minute walk to all amenities. Walking distance to parks and natural elements, 2-mile walk. That's the whole idea. This is where the whole thing of the 15-minute city comes from. Everything you need will be in a small area, so you don't have to go travel here and there. This is the whole emissions thing. We want to make sure that people stay in one spot. If you ask me, that's a fucking chicken coop.
23 minutes, you said?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay.
End to end, 20 minutes. 160. What's that?
160 or
106. 106.
By 20. What is speed? Okay, speed equals distance divided by time.
Mm-hmm.
So the distance is 106 divided by 20. It becomes 53. 5.3.
What are you looking for specifically?
How many miles per hour that is?
Let's see. Do 80? Okay. Let's figure this out. Six.
Distance. Okay, I got this.
Okay, so we're figuring out, for those listening, we're figuring out. I don't know actually what he's trying to figure out specifically. How long it would take, or how fast you'd be going, rather.
318 miles per hour.
which can be done because jet airliners go about 500 now, 450 to 500.
That's 9,328 yards per minute.
We're talking about a monorail.
155.47 yards per second.
He did it by yards.
Sorry, Hussein, your record's beat.
He only
11.32 seconds per mile. Better get ready to pull that brake quick when you're about to miss your stop.
Yeah, for
I only got about 37 seconds.
There's only 4 stops
God.
along the whole thing. It's going to be 4 stops. But again, everything that they're building is going to be, and they have, the architects or the people building it said this. They want this to be done by like 2050.
I like metric sound better.
But they said there's going to be a section of it that they're working on that's going to be completed or ready for people to move into by like 2030. That's impressive. And of course, Saudi Arabia does it.
Jesus.
They have a shit ton of money.
Yeah, they do.
But again, this is going with the whole emissions thing and clean technology or clean fuel and whatever. And that whole thing is a bunch of it's a fucking farce. The whole thing's a farce. Not only that, but the way they're they're pushing everything in New York State right now. We've talked about it before. Everything to go green, to go
California does it, we got to do it.
Yeah,
if we do it, California's got to do it.
to go electric. Now, strictly speaking, from the fire industry can't keep up with it. They can't keep up with it because NFPA is still trying to figure out rules and regulations when it comes to fighting EV fires and the batteries, the cells specifically, because they're lithium-ion batteries, which is a chemical. It's a what's the word I'm looking for? Salt.
Dissolvent?
No,
Sodium chloride?
no, electrolyte. There we go.
Okay.
It's an electrolyte. With a lithium battery, it's a small strip of metal, which would be a Class D fire, like magnesium. You know, lithium-ion isn't. It's a class sort of B, sort of C, sort of D. And it falls in all of them, but not really. So, with fire, you were in the fire department, so you know, like the fire triangle.
Yep.
All right. So you take the fuel, you take the heat, or you take the fuel source, oxygen, or you take heat. You take one of those away, you extinguish the fire.
Yeah, I'll say it's supposed to go out.
The problem with lithium ion is that is a reaction. It's the cells inside the battery. It's a reaction, and then when one of those cells are bad, it goes. The thing is it doesn't operate under the same triangle. You can have one of those batteries completely submerged in water and then catch fire and watch it burn. So there's no actual way to put the fire out. You can't put a foam on it like you can some other Class B fires or Class C fires and stop it. So what the whole standard now, this is from NFPA, is like just pull the vehicle out and wait for it to burn and just protect exposures.
Well, you remember Scoot, right? Scoot, remember what Scoot told us about nuclear fire versus metal fire on a boat? He's like, if it's a nuclear fire, and you look up, if it's bigger than your thumb from the distance you are, it's too close. You're too close. If there were metal fires on the ship, they would literally just push the metal overboard.
Yeah.
And you could watch it hit the water, and you could see the fire going down while it's dropping to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And the metal would just burn. There's no putting it out.
No. And that's the problem that the fire industry is coming up with.
Yeah.
It's like we don't know because we're just learning as they're pushing this out, and they're pushing it out so fast you can't keep up with it. And now going past the fire industry, National Grid themselves, and we just had a meeting last week about this. National Grid themselves said our infrastructure can't handle this.
No, we can't.
So if National Grid is saying this isn't going to work, but then I told Frank when we were down there, I'm like, there's a morbid side to me. There's a whole bunch of shit that they're coming across that New York State, or federally, they want to pass that the fire industry has to follow. And a lot of them are financial suicide. There's paid departments like, we can't fucking do this. But I kind of ranted. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? And then I go, there's a morbid part of me that's like, you know what? Let them do all this. Let them crash all these departments. I go, let them do that, and then let them pass all this stuff with like the electric, everything they're doing, and so the infrastructure crashes. So I can just watch it all crumple down and go, boy, if there's only a fucking way we would have known that would have happened. Now that was just me being me, and that's kind of selfish, but
No.
it's just everyone screams and cries like this isn't going to work, but everyone wants to push this shit across just to pat themselves on the back and be like, look how good I'm doing. Just a virtue signal.
Jesus Christ.
But you know what? It's okay because they're going to build a line and it's going to cross Saudi Arabia, go right across the ocean. They're going to have the floating line with little floaties on the
I
side.
want to go under the water.
And then, no, you can't go under the water. There's too many emissions. You're going to have gas emissions. They'll be able to see it. And then, tax that, man. And then the line's going to come across, go right through here. We're going to live up on like the 30th floor. Oh, no, we won't be on the 30th floor. They'll put us in the basement.
I hope so.
All the rich people will be up top.
I don't want to climb the stairs. Fuck that.
Do you think the rich people will be up top or on the bottom?
They'll be on top.
You think so?
Yeah.
Part of me,
It'll be
I mean,
like Snowpiercer.
in every fiction book or anything, novel, anything you read, that's usually how it is. But there's also part of me that says, they could be on top, or they could be like, okay, well, if we put all the poor people on top, they'll probably jump off the buildings and take care of themselves. So they'll work until they're depressed enough, and then we'll just replace them with somebody else.
Damn it.
We'll just have to put in like some nets to catch them so they don't fall on us. Ugh.
He's been up there for 6 days and he's still alive. Will you stop masturbating? Jesus. Go inside.
Instead of like when you were a kid and they throw shoes over.
Oh.
We just tie their legs together and throw them over.
Oh, that was awesome back in the day.
Was that ever your shoes?
No. I threw his shoes up there.
I was going to say, did you ever steal someone's shoes from up there and then wore them?
Oh, no. I never stole shoes from the power line. I
knock them down with a stick. Those are live wires.
No. No, I never had to try to get them off the line. I got them other ways.
Oh, yeah? How'd you get them? Bye.
Damn it. Fuck you. Stole 'em.